UFC on Fox 30 is such an amazing fight card that I used my beer pairing video this week, which you can watch right here, as a way to talk about the top 3 most important fights on the entire card, which are the last 3 fights happening that evening. The main event between Eddie Alvarez and Dustin the Diamond Poirier, the co-main event between Jose Aldo and Jeremy Lil Heathen Stephens, and before that, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Tecia Torres. All 3 of those bouts are featuring a former UFC champion of the world. That's why this video right here is focusing on 3 hidden gems. Perhaps you don't have your radar on them already, but if you plan on setting your DVR or planning your butt down on the couch for this event, you're going to want to put your peepers on the television when these 3 fights show up. Let's start with number 3.
Cajun Johnson versus Islam Makhachev. Johnson is on a 4-fight win streak, and after a 2-year layoff, he made a huge return to competition when he knocked out Adriano Martins in the 3rd round. He has a well-rounded skill set where he does a lot of stance switching with lateral movement, kicks a lot at range, and even has decent grappling. Makhachev is a combat sambo world champion, and he is the training partner of Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov. For a long time, I thought of him as just a smothering grappler and a submission threat, but in his last time out, he knocked out Gleison Tibau with the very first punch he threw in that fight. He is a pretty young guy who is improving his game. It feels a bit like the UFC is trying to get rid of Johnson by having him lose to Makhachev here, but the fight is a lot more fun and competitive than the odds suggest, in my estimation. Hell, even if Makhachev does just destroy Johnson like the UFC wants, I'm excited to watch that. Makhachev had called out a top 15 opponent after his last outing. While he isn't getting that here, you'll for sure see this kid near the top of the rankings in the near future. You're going to want to keep your eyes on Islam Makhachev. Number 2, Gadzhimurad Antigulov versus Ion Cutelaba. I know, that is a real mouthful, but if you're a fan of finishes, you're going to love Antigulov. In 24 professional appearances, he has only been to the judges once. He also hasn't lost in 5 years, and in his 2 octagon appearances, he has finished his opponent both in less than a total of 4 minutes. I forgot to mention, he is also a Dagestani fighter, like Makhachev, like Nurmagomedov, which might not sound like much to you, but it truly is important. Cutelaba in his last 2 outings, he was in a fight of the night, and in his very last appearance, he got a 22-second knockout. He is an extremely durable competitor with a well-rounded skill set, but what makes this fight so interesting in my mind is that Cutelaba is the man with the Combat Sambo Championship on his mantle, and not Antigulov. I highly doubt this fight makes it to the judges, but if it does, wow, hold on to your hats. And number 1, Alexander the Great Hernandez versus Olivier Mercier. Somehow Hernandez is sans a Wikipedia page, but soon he will be a household name. Regardless of the outcome of this fight, he is a super young fighter who only has 10 total fights to his name, so it's likely that he has nowhere near tapped his potential. His last 4 victories are via stoppage, the latest of which was a short notice UFC debut where he completely destroyed perennial top 15 lightweight Beneil Dariush. The 42 seconds he was in the octagon on that night was enough for me to put him in a category where whoever he is set to face, I'm going to put my peepers on that thing and pay him my attention. It just so happens that his opponent, Aubin Mercier, is also a must-watch guy. He trains at one of the greatest camps in the world, TriStar, and is coming off of a performance of the night. 53-second TKO victory over durable Evan Dunham. Recently, he out-kickboxed Drew Dober, who is a kickboxer, and he has phenomenal grappling skills. It should be noted that he trains with George Rush St. Pierre. Olivier's skill set is extremely high level, but recently he has adapted a Canadian gangster persona that has garnered a lot of attention. He kind of talks tough while being super nice and rocking a mustache. It's silly, but in the world of Reebok, anything a fighter can do to stand out is commendable. Oh, and the fight should be extremely fun as well. I'm talking about, look at this one, to be fight of the night.
I'm so happy that you made it to this point in the video that I wish I could hug you, but since I can't, please just give the video a thumbs up and tell me in the comment section down below which fight you're looking forward to the most beyond the last 3 fights on the card. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on Saturday after the event is over for the MMA Mania UFC on Fox 30 post-fight show where you are my co-host. Namaste.